pricing is.
Yeah.
Because part of it is when I know that the pricing is right, then I buy it.
Yeah.
Or if it's within the pricing of what I would normally buy it.
But I will guarantee you, if we went to a place to have 1 million square foot of shopping, she would know every bargain in the 1 million foot before she left. Every bargain. So
When it's a sell, I'll tell you.
that's right. They could ask her, before, call up, okay, NSC, what is the bargains in the store? She said, well, I'd go with, okay, people over the loudspeaker system, go to aisle 27, a half a mile to the back of the store, you will find, so.
But, I also buy those extended warranties for electronics,
Yeah.
and I buy them for all the things that I touch.
Yeah, anything that she touches. Yeah, I have none, and she has them all.
Well, that's because you're fine with your stuff, but for me, everything that I touch, because part of it is you learn, like, if the percentage,
Okay.
there's certain equipment that will never fail after you bought it out of the 30-day period. Other equipment that's electronic, that's going to change, it's like if it's within, 20%, then it's always a good time to buy the warranty.
Yeah, but then another thing, so I didn't buy warranties, but the old guy, as most people do know, the old guy just basically had a stroke. He can't hold things left-handed.
Mm-hmm.
So now it makes I worry about dropping things. So I don't have warranties.
Oh, yeah, you don't have warranties on things you touch.
I don't have warranties on my stuff. But I've discovered I can't hold things left-handed flat on my hand, even if I can't hold on to them.
Well, see, that's one of the things, is the things that I have, that I touch all the time, it's over warranty. It's like the most expensive one, so basically, if I drop it, it'll get repaired.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets repaired for everything except probably me running over it with a car.
Yeah.
Or if it's lost.
There's some things that the warranties are no good on.
Yeah,
no matter
water damage,
Water damage,
don't drop it in the water.
they're basically no good on camera lenses. I mean, we've got a $700-800 lens, which
I
they
was really
would not-
pissed about it. We had it 2.5 months and they would not honor the warranty.
Yeah, and
Or
if-
actually, they would honor the warranty, but then you'd have to pay like about half the cost of the lens to get it repaired.
it's not that big a deal. But I can go, especially when you can go to any good camera repair shop other than them. It's a screw came out of one of the adjustment rings is all it was.
It's just like, okay, number 11.
Yeah.
Okay, 10, 11.
Now, her problem is she's got her shoes on.
Okay, we'll put up one toe. Is gift receipts.
Yeah, those are, I think a lot of the businesses are no longer letting you bring the stuff in. Actually, don't. I'll tell you this, they have RFID tags on everything, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they know where those clothes and any items you bought came from.
Yeah, I would tell you shop national because it does make a difference. If it's for things for your family that you may exchange things, if it's food and things like that you're not so concerned about, don't worry about it. But yeah, and actually the RFID thing does make a difference. People are going, what is that? It's RFID is a chip that's installed in it. And did you know if you buy the same thing, let's say for example from Target and Best Buy, it may be the same game, but they have different codes.
Yeah, and the chip basically isn't necessarily a chip. It could be nothing more than something like a wire that's in the thing that you don't know about. Mm-hmm. Because I've seen them. That's and they said no longer count on when they scan it. When they don't remove the RFID things. They only remove the security stuff. You can basically, they said, here's a trick. Throw all of everything that your merchandise came in the trash can and completely dispose of it, other than where you live, because the RFID stuff is basically in the things. They said it's bad enough that they got them in your clothing now, but you don't want to have them. They can track you back to your houses now. So.
Oh, that's not good. On those gift receipts are really important because first of all they're having tighter return policies. And expect them to be tighter this year than they have in previous years.
And in most cases, it's 30 days from the time it was purchased, not 30 days from the time that you gave the present. So you can basically act yourself into a problem by buying the thing too early.
Mm-hmm. Also on the gift receipt, when you return things, first of all, they may not be able to exchange it, but sometimes if you do not have a receipt, the price that they give you may be the cheapest price that has been in the store in the last 30 days. So for example, whoever bought it for you may have paid twice as much for that than they're giving you credit for.
Yeah. Because we have run into that too.
Yeah, and just because you're at Costco and you think, well, Costco has it on record and I bought it at Costco and I used my card. Well, guess what happens on Costco? Yes, they have it in record, but if you don't bring your receipt in, oftentimes, and they don't carry that product any longer, they give you the discounted price for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you probably thought you were safe on that one. Number 12, keep your receipts in one place for the holidays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she does that too. She's got rolls of receipts.
Mm-hmm. And the reason this is really important is you're out shopping, the price has changed, and you'd like them to match the price. Well, if you have it all in one place, you just pull out the receipt and say, oh, here's the receipt, can you just price match it? Makes it really easy. Like Olka mentioned, sometimes they will not match their own prices.
No, they will not match their own prices. We've seen that.
And sometimes they will, it depends on the store, and sometimes you have to bring an add-in with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Because as they're getting more and more pissanish, and the inventory is getting slimmer and slimmer in the stores, they're basically, they have and it's where you go back to her reading the fine print. The fine print says they can change the rules at any given minute.
Yes, they can.
Yeah.
Anytime, even if they had something posted beforehand.
But when you buy the merchandise, you're agreeing to accept the fact that you give them the right to change the rules in the game before you get out the door. They can change the rules on you.
Mm-hmm. Number 13, 10, and 3, right?
Yep.
Is know the return policies. Because for knowing the return policies, whether you can exchange it, you can get money back, credit back, or you have store credit.
And,
or none of the above.
Mostly too, virtually every store that sells electronics now charges you a restocking fee. Mm-hmm. Virtually everyone, even we bought a camera, and basically it says that you don't even have to open the box. You've got,
oh really?
The instant the camera was out of the store, it was subject to a 15-cent restocking fee, whether the box had ever been opened or not. Ooh. That's what it says on the box in the fine. But that goes back to your fine print. Also, read the fine print. It says in the fine print, this electronic merchandise is subject to a 15% restocking fee, whether or not the merchandise has ever been opened.
Well, I know, like for me, because I shop so much, that I'm not subject to restocking fees. Although I will tell you that my sister who bought a camera, I think I got it because it was where I was and she couldn't get it where she was. Yeah. So I bought it, and she wanted to have the same price, but she wanted it on her credit card.
It didn't work that way.
So what happened was we went to the store, they returned it, they charged an open box fee when they changed the we're going, what? Yeah. We're rebuying our same item.
Yeah.
And we're just changing credit cards.
Because it basically her sister shot herself in the foot.
Mm-hmm. We did get them to change it.
Yeah.
But part of it was she wanted to change the credit card, right? So she could have it on her credit card and not my credit card.
And they wouldn't let you use her. I was there. They would not let you buy the thing. They would not let her charge it over the telephone on her credit card. Mm-hmm. So that's where the problem resulted. You had to get it and then, But
yeah, so sometimes those little tricky things, and other times it's like, oh, look, now we've already bought it and we've been using it. Now there's a better deal on it. Now you get a camera back with it included.
Yeah. No, that's right. It goes into case in point. Last year we were in, actually we were telling Best Buy. They mm-hmm. told the person, the salesman guaranteed that this was the lowest price in the city. The guy the next day went over to Sears and Roebuck, it was $175 less. And he really got unhappy with them. Mm-hmm. And they said, well, that wasn't they said the salesman should have never said this was the lowest price in the city. Yeah. Because it obviously wasn't. But $175,
that's a big difference.
That's a big difference. And,
yeah.
He basically he told me he'd never shop in that store again. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a lot of difference, $175. It just,
that's a lot, that's a big
But
chunk.
They're no longer working on commission in most of these stores either, though. Oh. They're almost all working on salary. When they're working on commission, they would try to get you to buy all sorts of things you didn't need. Mm. That's not the way it is now, because they're now salaried workers, and basically you shift them from one place to the store to the other place. So you actually today might not get as knowledgeable a person as you got last year.
Which is kind of unfortunate.
Because we do know we've been into some of the stores where the guy said, well, he's in computers. Well, I actually don't know. tablets because I'm actually in cell phones.
Yeah.
But he's working in the computer section and has no clue, but because that's where they moved him to.
And number 14, some of you may not be familiar with this, but I am, let's just say Old Kim's intimately familiar with it, which is the
it must be the National Return List, of which she has me on, so.
You're going, what is that? I've never heard of that. Okay, I'll tell you. They'll tell you that it doesn't exist.
It does exist because I go into certain stores, and anytime I buy something, they run me on my name, and I wasn't returning things. I was exchanging things.
Yep.
I was not returning. I sat there in the construction business. It's normal to buy more than what you need, and you bring in what you didn't need and exchange it for something else you do need.
Right.
That's not how they do business now.
Because part of it okay, let's say Old Kim was working on my place, and instead of having to dig through the receipts, right, it's all in their computer, so all you're doing is changing one thing to the other.
Yeah, there's no money. I mean, we were always spending more money
Yeah.
too. We always spent more. I'd take she'd want something and then she'd change her mind and I'd go change it which is how it's done in the construction business. You get something that's the wrong size, you take it back and bring in, and they change it for the right size and you pay the difference. It's not like we weren't walking out with money. We were spending more money every time I went in.
Yeah, we're spending more money all the time. And the credit card bill would show you that too. But part of it is we did get Old Kim on the National Do Not Return List.
Yeah, and they basically gave me a fit every time I'd come into the store. I mean, I couldn't even buy something at the cash register.
And they knew, because they'd see you all the time. They're like, we know you're buying more stuff, but this is what the computer's coming up with.
So they'd give me fits. I'd sit there and go, like I was a criminal or something, buying that. And this is after I went through hell returning it, and then I'm trying to buy the new stuff. They're afraid I'm going to return it, so they got to have a manager over it okay to sell. Yeah.
So you're going, well, wait a minute, what if I have my receipt? Well, guess what? If you do lots of buying and returning, you can even still have your receipt and end up on that National Do Not Return List.
They don't want the stuff returned, but I'm assuming every contractor in the United States is on a national return list.
Yeah.
And it's just the fact of life of doing business. You cannot do business in the construction business. Entertainment people in the film. Okay, we got the Expendables business. They always return what they don't need.
Well, because first of all, they buy more than they expect they need.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to have to keep going to and from the store.
Yeah, and then they charge them. You're not returning it for cash or credit in your credit card. You're returning it. You're exchanging it for something else that you're going to use because they don't have a return fee and get something back for it. They have an exchange thing. But they're probably all on national return list too, and it's just the nature of the industry.
Yeah, and you're
Yes,
going, what?
I know.
Yeah. If you put in the National Do Not Return List and you put in a video, yes, you'll have me talking extensively about it.
Yeah. But it does exist because I didn't. I mean, I'd go over and tell, I don't want to return this thing. She said, well, we need this, so I take the stuff back. Well, here's a trick too. Is that construction people will always buy X amount more than they need so that they know if they run short on cash and can't go buy what they need, they can take and return something and exchange it for what they need.
Yep.
And that's what she was doing on the house construction. She would buy what was not needed, knowing that I could go take it back and do what was needed.
That's right.
And then we found out that little thing happened.